Okay, I just finished doing something I've never done before, and it showed 226, which, whoa, there's many hours in this year of 2026. There's also those that wake up at 244, which add up to 10, which 1 plus 0 is 1. And it's a year of oneness in all it is in a homecoming way for ourselves and self-discovery, but it's not even self-discovery anymore. It's clarity. This word clarity has been coming up. I've called on the angels of clarity. People are getting clarity. I'm being guided to people where there is clarity that's coming forward. I am love. I am light. I am truth. This ebb and flow of energy flows through me. I know it to be true when I get the vibration in my feet, and I just know. And having faith and guidance in a way of myself and my well-being moving forward. And so, I have a curious puppy here who wants to try to nibble on my glasses. And so, I'm in the dark, and I just finished doing a bunch of automatic writing. I have been doing videos for a long time. I did these videos years ago where I know what it's like, and I would post them, and the odd person would see them. And I knew in a way, I guess the universe was seeing them, but that wasn't my intention at the time. And so some of the things I would post, you would see it manifest. And so the power of speech. And so if you're speaking ill regard, ill intent, just know the power of speech. I was reminded of that tonight by a beautiful soul. And I know that to be true because a once monastery monk told me this, who was a healer. And he said, don't say nothing bad about no one. And I was going through, let's just say a divorce of after 27 and a half years. And so I held it in, the abuse, the betrayal, but I realized later, much later, and I still would not talk ill regard, ill intent, about him in ways other than writing things down. And even then, I realized, I came to a realization. He did not know what it was he was doing. He was puppeteered. I was told that by someone else, and I'm like, makes sense. It totally makes sense. I remember the night before we were separated, the darkness that came in, the dark shadows that were surrounding our home we were building. Oh, baby. The dark shadows that were surrounding my place and his that we were building. And I literally, it's a whole different story that needs to be written about and get truth about that as well. Either way, I kept quiet, and it was all this other stuff coming to me, and I realized there were those in different things like spirituality, spiritually, different faiths and stuff that were kind of utilizing some of the stuff, the teachings, the things that I was saying. It was coming out on media, but you got to remember in different ways of people's writings, people's way of videos they were sharing. It's almost like how can I explain it? And spirits give me an idea right now. And as you can tell, my dog's trying to distract me, so I'm hopeful that that will stop, because I feel like sometimes spirit can distract that way too, through our animals. And so what it was is I remember turning to spirit and saying, okay, show me online the latest plane crash. See how I can help. But I wasn't ready for what was to come forward. Even though I had done lots of work in different ways. So sure enough, I searched. There's an article on, I was ready, but I had, how can I put this? This is real and uncut, okay? So, I'm most likely not to watch my videos after I do them. And sometimes I do, dependent. I used to, but now, back then I didn't. I would just post it. But there are those that control what's really released out there. I know this to be true. And so, this article was online, and it was satellite, and somebody who did that article, none of the media got a hold of this crash in Alaska. It was online. Sure enough, that night I felt spirit coming from all ends, and it was like, holy crap, I can't even read the article. I just had to see the picture. And the article was there, and I'm like, I'm so tired, I'm gonna go to bed. Now I had that opportunity, but don't get me wrong, there was work to be done afterwards. So the article showed the plane. It even showed the name of a person reporting certain things. And who knows if that person became a millionaire overnight. Either way, that article the next morning, have you ever had something, it was posted, you have it on your phone, and you're like, I'm going to look at it tomorrow, and you go back in, and it's there, and you tap on it, and it disappears, and then you search for it, you can't find it anywhere? Well, that's what happened, and the media had taken a hold of it, and they were all over it. They were all over it. So somebody in the media, and sometimes that, I remember back in the day, the media used to not fight over, but it's kind of like that thing, who's going to get the word out first, and not caring about the consequences in case they're wrong. But today it's very different. And so either way, the puppeteering is going on with people's lives. So I know my ex, and even the politician down the street. Now, don't get me wrong, I never had an affair with the politician down the street or anything like that. I'm just saying he was friends with my ex and friends with me. And somehow, before I was in our other house, and let's just say status quo, we were one of those 20% financially free. And there are those in the universe that know. Those that learn to know that, and learn to know more things that they think to be true that's not. Cause ill regard, ill intent. And they're there masquerading around, trying to determine who's deserving of certain things in life and who's not. Thinking, anyway, that they know full truth, and sometimes they don't. And so it's spirit that gathers us together for concrete evidence, because there are those of us that have been through things that are almost unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now, I worked in mental health long enough to know there was a time in my thought forms that if there was a continuous thing going on for you, that you were the problem. So if things were continuously happening, let's say friendships around you, certain things, it was like redirected back to you to take a deep, hard look at yourself and see what is it you're doing. What is your thought forms? What is it that you're processing? What is it that you're doing? Now, this is the bizarre thing. Those that are awakened to the awakening, they start to realize that it's like an interruption when you're a conduit or you're a medium, and there's different styles of mediumship. You're psychic, whatever the case may be, you're a healer, whatever. You may be just have faith in the holiness of God in the name of love. Either way, you have these special abilities, or some people say talent, or whatever the case may be. Whatever you choose is okay with me. And so some people talk about illusionary worlds and an illusion and things that happen to have to do with spirit. But then when you start to realize, holy crap, this is on a whole different level of human beings trapping spirit, playing trickery. And then the humans believing certain things that spirit may say and so forth. And so it can be pretty convoluted. It can cause turmoil in your life, but which also can cause peace. Like this one brings to me. And so she's trying to get a hold of, I have this beautiful necklace. It's under my shirt right now, and it's a representation of my loyalty to Buddha. And so this comes down to love and kindness also, in a way of no ill regard, no intent, no jealousy. It's all a form of toxicity, not in a way of love and kindness. We are to be of love and kindness, and wishing for not only ourselves but others as a collective to be free from anger, to be free from ill will, to be free from ill regard and ill intent, and to want equanimity, equality in a way of love and kindness. And it just seems like there's such a separation that goes on at the same time. I mean, there's so many topics I can talk about right now, but I don't want to get off course here with regards to where I'm going with this. And so I had someone, for example, who I knew before I had the appointment that this person wasn't awakened to the awakening of what was. I was open about being a medium. It was somebody who I've known for years as a psychologist I would go see. I knew him after I had been of service in the military. I went back to school. I worked frontline work. I mean, I know what it's like to be working 8-hour shift, 10-hour shift, 12-hour shift, double shifts, and so forth. And so I know what it's like to be interrogated, boots on the ground sort of way. I know what it's like to be involved in a sexual misconduct a situation and not get compensation for it because of the trickery and the way stuff turns out. I know, and it's funny because I used to always do these videos. I know what it's like. And when I would do these videos, it was like I would hear that of not light say, well, you'll know what it's like in dealing with my dark night of the soul. And so I got to experience not only my dark nights of the soul, but put through other people's dark nights of the soul. And this is hard to really explain. There are times where I knew even later after that whole experience where I felt like I was entrapped in a box in my home, or some would say trapped in a cage, a bird trapped in a cage, and wanting to run from it. Being so invoked in my spirituality, even being programmed that, and knowing it not to be true, that if I take a break from it, that I walk away from it, that I'll lose everything I learned. And that I that I was like, wait a second, it's like riding a bike, when it comes to things, because that of the divine, of light, will ensure that you remember and that you can utilize those skills in different manners. It's like the university student that goes to school and college or wherever, goes to school and they learn all this stuff and then they say, oh, I don't even remember that anymore. Well, it's because let's just say, it's like stepping stones. They're in these stepping stones and they end up evolving in a way that's different than they realize. And then the odd time, things will pop up. It's not a bad thing. It's okay to take a look and not, get stuck in the past and be with the moment of what is. Appreciate what may come up in a remembrance sort of way and recognize, how can I utilize this in the now and moving forward? And then look in the future and realize we're not going to anticipate problems of the future, even to a point where I find myself, and I tell others this as well, sometimes when you think ahead of something, and it's okay to write down notes and to plan before you go and do something, and you just know you plan to do this, and then you have all these thoughts in your head how something's going to work out, and then you go, you sit down, and it turns out nothing like you planned. That's meant to be. So anticipating problems of the future and even getting oneself worked up even before an event or a certain situation happens, it sometimes doesn't do us good for our highest and best moving forward. And so we find ourselves, there's times where it's okay to go with the flow. Some say ebb and flow. Go with the flow. Now, right now, I have done these cards and I know there has been, there has been, how can one say it? Initiations. This has been going on for a very, very, very long time. There are people in the universe hearing they're not good enough. Remember, even saying, I am good enough is like breath work. It's programming yourself to remind yourself you earn this, to live this beautiful life experience. Now, don't get me wrong. There are times where trickery will play and you are not you or yourself. You may find your thought forms become like monkey minds or mind, and you're like, and this has nothing to do with, I know mental health well enough, working in it, experiencing it, being in a crisis, working crisis, understanding the DSM and labels, that sometimes you got to look at the greater, bigger picture. And so you'll get these groups that are under these umbrellas. So you can have a group of a whole bunch of Buddhist monks. They have a way of life. They have teachings of Dharma. They have an understanding of it. So just to give you an example, work in mental health, you have an umbrella. The mental health aspect, you have, the hospitals, you may have different treatment centers, you may have administrative staff, you may have payroll, human resources. Just to give you an idea, all these different departments, just an idea, okay? Then you have, there's a whole gamut of different departments. Then you look at the monastery, the same thing, except you have an umbrella, and they have faith in Buddha, and they have all these different faiths within faith of their faith and what they believe in. And they all work different departments for a greater purpose. Not picking either apart. It's like the government's the same thing. It's like the military, the same thing. It's like the hospitality, tourist industry, the same thing. It's like education, the same thing. You're getting what I'm putting down here, I hope. If not, what I'm trying to say is, in the universe, it's the same way. Now, you'll get people that have experienced a lot of different things in their walk of life. That's the generation of today. There has been the generation of mine where they may have worked, in a line of work for 20, 30 years or more. And some in mediumship. And whatever it may be as healers and so forth. And so now what's happening is, under all these umbrellas, people are awakening to the awakening of truth. Some people, like myself, have done all different lines of work, and I realize now, because it's my foundation. I was meant to. It's like the tree has been built. And I am a tree. And so that's hard for most people to understand. This is not about what once was years and years ago. Gathering up your tribe. This is about 2026 with the horse becoming oneness in a homecoming way. Gathering every essence of you. And when I say essence of you, some would say soulful retrieval time. Some do it in a school setting, some don't. Some do it online. Some do it reading a book. It's time to bring back every piece of you so you don't feel sliced up. At the monastery, the Buddhists call it bandits. The bandits, that's where you feel all sliced up. Some people call it cons. Also another Buddhist terminology. Some people will call it puppeteers. Either way, there's many names. It has to do with energy. And many sensitive people are feeling this. They're not there to sacrifice themselves. Oneness in a soulful way. And those people, however they may believe, it could be God in the name of love. Love is God, God is love. People have been tortured for saying that, by the way. Creation, creator. However, it could even be Jehovah, Yahshua, whatever you believe in. It could be even your daughter that you see as God. Those that get it will get it. That could be their salvation that saved their life. And I only know that because I experienced one time when I asked somebody who immigrated to this country, who is your God? And I seen the rainbow, and it was in the winter. It was mind-blowing. There is another name for it, but I may be blocked, and that's okay. I'll just be with what may. So as people awaken to the awakening, they're going to be told things and interpret possibly something that is not truth. They have to dig down deep and use their discernment and say, I know that person. I know that person loves me. I know that person cares for me. They may even try to play trickery where you start to hear a loved one talk in the universe. It's not necessarily them. It could be what they call a voiceover. There is so much going on behind the scenes. If only people knew. There's so many people having different terminology. There is such thing as the underworld, the underground. Years ago, I know there is stuff you just cannot talk about. There's places I've been brought to. Spirit has pointed things out to me. Getting validation from all these other people. I swear an oath that I won't repeat what I talk about. And so there's different things going on. And even me videotaping this. I've done so many auto diaries. I have been stalked. I have been tracked. I have had my phone where I was typing things I wouldn't give up. It's like the cursor would go backwards. I have had, oh my God, that isn't even nothing. Even being betrayed and the stuff that when I'm automatic writing and the truth is coming up, it's like no surprise to me. When somebody tells me, if I had to tell you the entire truth, it would kill me. I didn't realize the definition of that at the time. I didn't understand what that meant until I had it on paper. What it meant was the universe would know, and that's what would kill him. And this person is dying of cancer right now. Maybe turning another leaf. Miracles are possible. And there, you know, I have a conscience. I am so sensitive. I do not want to play trickery with anyone's life. I do not want to cause ill regard, ill intent. I've been tested so many times. I've had so many valuable lessons. I have went through such excruciating pain and suffering, but at the same time joy. I have faced spirit and those that have teams in spirit that are open about it and saying, like, how can you have that person channel through that and impact people in a programmed way where they may feel themselves as victims and then be angry at themselves for it, which is not so empowering. I, again, do not want to talk ill regard or ill intent about anyone, because I know what it's like, that laser tongue and what it can do. It can cause such havoc and harm on people's vessels, on their astral body, on their auric field. People are doing hard work where they every day they're programmed day and night, and I hear it from more than one protection or different things, and it's like they're part of different groups, and I hear the synchronicities of the ones that I have followed. I don't put anyone else on a pedestal. I have my own story, my own experiences. They might think I'm a tadpole, I'm at the bottom of the sea, but I'm not. I know myself. Soulful lives I've lived and living in a way that it's like cut the cords of everything and anything that doesn't serve my highest and greatest good. It's like seraphims shower down on me. They know. In the name of something greater than the word that we use God in. They say God is dog and dog is God. Love, love, love. I mean, this is a salvation. It's like I look at the monastery even and how they helped save me from something called possibly being abducted. And possibly being entrapped in the underworld. And I'm not talking about being trapped in your home telepathically on the frequency wavelengths communicating with others. I know that I don't have schizophrenia and I've never been diagnosed with it. I know I don't have borderline personality disorder. I've never been diagnosed with it. But I'll tell you one thing for sure. I know I see and hear things others don't see and hear. I know that saying because it's something that's asked all the time in mental health. I know too that I get pictures of people and I've met them. How do you explain that? Is that a new thing that's going to be put in the DSM like they did when they say when you get energy body pains from spirit? And they somehow find a diagnosis for it? It all comes back to control. It comes back to human conditioning and programming, imprinting. Even other human beings, I have been imprinted. And you know when you've been imprinted? When a person's face appears in your seminal mind, your wise mind, your third eye. And that person, not only what they don't know is they have imprinted your mind, okay? They've imprinted your mind. And it's like you have these rose-colored glasses on, but you don't. By doing that, they've also opened themselves up to things, to being vulnerable themselves and people finding out. But not only that, source, I mean, they shut it off. But I know I've had many spirits cross over and apologize to me when they were in the transition of crossing over. Because what happens, and I've been told this by another, and I believe it to be true. He's from England, and he said that this one person, she was tortured so bad, and it's her story to tell, but she had to become a doctor in order to prove herself in the universe. And not only that, I know she's capable of doing things because she visited my house and astral project and astral traveled there. However, correction on that. I'm hearing in the universe, you can't astral project, you can astral travel, but you can't astral project. Okay, then so be it. Either way, we get all misconstrued on what we're told at times. And so just so you know, when I channel from spirit, usually I don't take what's given to me in the universe, because then the universe calls you a fraud of a medium, a psychic being. Sylvia Brand went through that. The trickery, and blessings to her, because she was a good medium. And little did people know she was a healer too. Because mediums do heal. It's part of the process. Even psychics, they just don't quite know it. Some do, some don't. And so there is stuff going on that I can't even talk about on this video. There has been people I've seen where loved ones disappear. People die. They say they die of an aneurysm. I question it, of what really has happened, because I know myself, I'm told I'm supposed to die of an aneurysm. It was queried today about the shocks that come to my head. There is a powerful force of light out there that I have faith in helping me, even myself, helping myself in the process. These are not self-inflicted. I know when a lightning strike occurs, it's like seeing the deck of cards and going, holy moly, how does this stuff come up? How is it that I got a soulful picture done from somebody who has AIDS that becomes open about it? At the same time, I'm going for my COVID shot, and I shit you not, I had protection in ways that I didn't ask for, and told they were there to accompany me so I wouldn't get a shot that possibly had the AIDS virus in it. And at the time, do I even dare say the place? It's not where I live now. And so there's been a lot of things that are unusual coming to the surface. Even my travels to the United States and the things that occurred and the protection that I didn't realize at the time. And so, yeah, I realize I've been going on for 41.045 minutes now. I add up numbers, right? 41.05 is 10, and 10, which is 1 plus 0, which is oneness in a homecoming way, which is a sign to leave this and just say, may you be well, may you be happy, may you be free from anger, may you be free from ill will, may you be free from jealousy, may you be free from mental suffering, may you be free from physical suffering, may you live in peace, may you live happily, and may I as well. And these wishes we send out, I'm a mystic Buddhist and have been for years now. I didn't realize the meaning of it when the message was given. I so realize it now, and I will continue to be as it may. I don't have to even label myself or even share my expertise amongst anything else. I just know to be with what is. Love.